The New York Knicks have made a major roster decision by waiving Landry Shamet amid him dislocating his shoulder, and the New York Knicks are going to have to figure out who is going to step into the rotation now that Shamet's gone for the foreseeable future, and we're going to break this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video. But also, real quick, guys, make sure to subscribe. 23% of people watching this are subscribed. If you're liking the content we put out, hit the button. It really does help us out more than you'd imagine. But let's jump into some basketball news. The New York Knicks made a major roster decision today, deciding to waive Landry Shamet, as Shams revealed, as sources told him and Bobby Marks that despite having a strong preseason, averaging 10.8 points per game, the Knicks waived Shamet because he dislocated his shoulder, and they'll likely maintain the roster at 12 standard players and look to bring back Shamet once he recovers from his dislocated shoulder, meaning the Knicks are just waiving him for the time being, not forever. And last year, Shamet put up 7 points per game with 1 rebound, 1 assist, shot 34% from 3, something that I think we all expected to go up with the New York Knicks since he'd be in a better role for himself. And he also shot 42% in the corner. Shamet is someone who was going to be in the New York Knicks rotation considerably. Probably is the 9th man, but he would have been in the rotation. And now they're going to have to figure out who's going to get that rotational spot, as Tyler Kolek is a point guard, and they already have Deuce McBride and Cameron Payne in there. With the way he's been playing, it could potentially be rookie Pacome Dadier, who looks really good already, despite being a pick, who was the 25th overall pick as a pure project-type player, which is very interesting to see. But there's going to be a lot of decisions the New York Knicks are going to have to make over the next few days, considering you can't have 12 players on your roster for long. You can only have under 14 players on your roster for 2 weeks. Now, that means the Knicks are going to have to make some sort of call here. The first thing they're going to do is they're going to convert Ariel Hukporti into a two-way off of a two-way contract onto a full guaranteed roster spot on a 3-year contract that's partially guaranteed, with only the first year fully guaranteed money this season. The other 2 will be non-guaranteed years that'll probably be converted, most likely. And outside of that, that leaves them with 13 guys. They're going to have to make another decision. Maybe bring on TJ Warren for the time being. Potentially bring back Marcus Morris, though, as someone did mention in the comments, who was absolutely correct. Marcus Morris is over a 10-year NBA veteran, so his veteran minimum is higher than Shamet's and TJ Warren's. So things can get a little murky that way. So the Knicks are going to have to make a tough call here. And at the end of the day, it feels like what's going to happen is they're just going to wait on Shamet and see if he gets better and see if he can end up helping the Knicks sooner rather than later, which honestly is a fine move if you ask me. It's just one of those situations that things now do get a little bit stranger. I mean, Landry Shamet is someone who was good for the Knicks and who fits the team, who Tom Thibodeau liked, who the whole New York Knicks organization really enjoyed having. So now not having Tibbs, moving on into this situation where now the Knicks are going to have to not only figure out who's in that 9th man spot until Shamet returns. If Shamet returns, then the Knicks are going to have to go out there and they're going to have to decide, how are they going to have a 14-man roster? Who is going to get signed? Will it be Chuma Okeke? Will it be TJ Warren? Will it be a different free agent, which is an idea that I actually like, and we're going to talk about that right now, because there is a guy in Lonnie Walker who the Boston Celtics decided to waive today, as Walker averaged 7.3 points in 16 minutes per game for the Celtics in the preseason. Seemed like a weird choice to waive him from the outside looking in, as Walker is a great player who should not be struggling to get an NBA roster spot. So the fact that Walker is struggling makes me believe personally that the New York Knicks, or that the Boston Celtics for some reason just made a mistake here, and the New York Knicks could go out here and mend that issue if they decide that they want to bring on Walker onto the team, which I personally think would be a great decision, especially if Shamet just doesn't seem to be healthy at all, which that verdict is so up in the air right now. But last season, Lonnie Walker put up 9 points per game with the Brooklyn Nets with 2 rebounds, shot 38% from 3, 45% from the corner. The guy is someone who would fit on the Knicks really well and would be an excellent replacement for Landry Shamet. And in general, is just a guy who it feels like the Knicks would really get the most out of. So I really do hope the Knicks in a way go out there and just instead shift towards Lonnie Walker. Now, as Celtics Unite mentioned, in Boston, Lonnie Walker said he was ready to sacrifice his stats, always stayed after practice, earned his minutes, and put up 14, 14, and 2 on 55% from the field. So the Celtics waiving him it doesn't mean Walker is going to be out of a job for long. There are going to be teams that are interested in Lonnie Walker, and I think the Knicks should be at the top of that list. He's someone you could sign who's been in the NBA for this. I'm not sure if it's the same or very close years with Landry Shamet, where the contracts would be identical. You could bring on Walker, and it feels like he'd fit perfectly off the bench. Gives you a bit of scoring, gives you someone who can control the ball a little, gives you some shot creation, gives a lot of good things to the New York Knicks. I just need my desk really hard, and everything shook for a second, but we're all good. We're just going to power past that. Look, here's the deal, guys. I would love the idea of the Knicks bringing in Lonnie Walker. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not, if I'm being honest. It just doesn't feel like a move the Knicks are about to go out there and make. It feels like they are going to wait for Landry Shamet, and that's a risky game because we know the situation. We've watched this with Julius Randle. We watched Randle get hurt, try to come back, try to be his best self, and it just never worked. He had to get shoulder surgery. He ended up just playing his first preseason game against the Chicago Bulls a couple days ago since going down in January, and obviously it was not with the New York Knicks as Randle was traded for Karl Anthony Towns. So, are we really just going to sit there and wait on Landry Shamet? Is he, I don't mean to be harsh, is he good enough for the New York Knicks to sit there and wait around for when you're going to need to add other guys to the team? It's a question the New York Knicks are going to have to ask themselves. Now, look, if the answer is yes, if they decide Shamet's perfect for this team, I'm going to be supportive of that move. The Knicks front office is rarely incorrect with the decisions they make. Basically, everything they've done has worked out with the exception of the Obi Toppin draft pick, which in retrospect, it made sense at the time because it felt like Randle was going to certainly be traded. And then also signing Evan Fournier seemed to be a misstep. But outside of that, the New York Knicks have not really made too many mistakes. And mind you, Evan Fournier did indirectly lead to the New York Knicks acquiring Mikal Bridges, who can't shoot right now, which is a problem. But that's a different story for another day. And you better believe it is a different story for another day. I will be breaking that down. But guys, so because of that, make sure to subscribe. But we're not done. We got some stuff to talk about with Lonnie Walker, man. And Landry Shamet, because I think one of them has to be a New York Knick, and if Shamet's injured for the next 6 months, then go out there and sign Lonnie Walker, and boom, your team is still great. You have your ninth man. You get to sign Ariel Hukporty. Still, everything's all fine and dandy if you do that. So, to me, that seems like the obvious choice right now is you go out there, you sign Lonnie Walker, and you pretend the Shamet thing never happened. I guess, honestly, I mean, look, Shamet's going to get another role in the NBA, even if it's not with the Knicks. Everyone knows he's a good player. He's a good shooter. He's been on winning teams. He's been on losing teams. The man, he's slowly becoming an NBA veteran by now, which is wild because I think we all remember when he was on Philly for a little bit as a rookie and then getting traded to the Clippers. Philly and the Clippers do a lot of trades. That trade involved Tobias Harris. Wow, what a time. The NBA was so different just a few years back, man. Time flies. Well, we're having fun here. So, look, at the end of the day, guys, I think the Knicks should just sign Lonnie Walker now. It makes more sense than waiting on Landry Shamet. You need a ninth man who could score the ball and shoot. Well, guess what? Lonnie Walker shot 45% from the corner last season and 38% from three. Shot better than Shamet. Go out there, sign Lonnie Walker. He's a better scorer anyway. That's the move you make. Guys, let me know what you think down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.